autism. You have the diagnosis. I've shared about textures and foods and smells. What's next? Finding resources for your particular autism situation. There are many resources out there, and they actually start as young as infancy. There's ABA therapy, there's Head Start, there's physical therapy, occupational therapy. There's many, many ways that you can help progress your autistic child from a very little age. So, you're not too sure what's going on. You're a little bit worried. My first suggestion for step 1 is talk to the pediatrician. Honestly, we were very blessed, and I never realized it. I knew we had an amazing pediatrician who was just outstanding and always worked with us and always answered our questions, but she also specialized in special needs. So that's something you can look for. I never knew that until we had this doctor who replaced a former doctor. So some pediatricians do have special needs under their belt and know how to help you and know how to give you benefits and how to tell you where to go. So AB therapy, I have read about it. I have heard so much great information. Sadly, when our son was little, it was not around. From what I've learned from it, I would highly, highly suggest look for AB therapy in your area, see if your insurance covers it, and also see if they have like a package plan. Occupational therapy or physical therapy are all over the place. You just need to make sure that they specialize in autism. Now you have to also remember autism. We have nonverbal, we have verbal, we have high functioning, we have low functioning. So you want to make sure when you're looking for support or help that you're honest, you're upfront, and you're not sugarcoating it. If your child is 7, 8, and they're not potty trained, be upfront about it. If they are ones that are nonverbal, that is something you most definitely want the therapist place to know before they know who to match you with. Head Start. I don't know if that's what it's called everywhere, but Head Start was a blessing to us. Our son was born September 6th. Sadly, August 31st was the cutoff date to start school. So even though it was only 5 days, they wanted me to hold him back. That's when I started learning about how to find resources, how to find tips, and I found Head Start. He went to Head Start for what we thought was going to be for just preschool. We put him in at 4 because he was ready. He was ready. When I found out that he couldn't get into kindergarten because he was too young, Head Start took him back. They actually picked him up by the house, they dropped him off by the house, and they did kindergarten curriculum with him. Check your state, depending on the level your child is at with autism. Head Start assured me he was ready for first grade. He was doing his writing, his alphabets. He was starting to read. So I just enrolled him into first grade. Because here, kindergarten is optional. It's not mandatory. Sadly, I think it was November, they informed me our child was in the wrong grade. School started in August. Kind of late there, isn't it, folks? We said no. Keep him. Leave him there. And so he was always a year ahead. And I always really stressed about that. But when he hit high school, he just flourished. He had a great friends group. He was involved in sports. He was in extracurricular activities for other things. He did great. Would I do it again? That's one of the most asked questions. Would you ever put your child in a year ahead? Honestly, yeah, I would. Struggle was a little bit in college, away from home. At the time, he was 17 when he started school, so we had to do a parent in parenthesis so that he could have an adult right on campus that could take over for him until he turned 18. Yes, I would do it again. Seeing him today, preparing to graduate in the career that he said that that's what he was going to do from a long time ago, to having a job secured, ready for him when he graduates. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Is there a guarantee that my decision was correct? No. I honestly took a gamble by seeing how bored he was and just took the gamble, and it worked out. So autism is a very wibbly wobbly. We have high functioning, low functioning, verbal, nonverbal, and you're going to have to make decisions and hope they work for your child. When you're in school with an autistic child, they are eligible for an IEP plan, individual education plan. You need a doctor's note to state why they want him tested. You need to make sure that the school gets the doctor note. You must write that you are requesting a full functional assessment, including behavior. The school now has 12 days, 12 school days to do that test to see, do they qualify to start school or not? That's one of the tests they use. But that test is going to show anything and everything that should be on the IEP plan. You have input. You need to speak up. Now is your time to be the advocate and speak up. What does your child need? Is it seating? Is it away from the window? Is it extra time for assignments? Is it extra instruction time? Meaning your child can go up and ask the teachers while everybody else is working on the work and not be penalized. Extra testing time. Typing instead of writing. Speaking into an iPad or a computer instead of typing. You need to find out what is going to make your child successful. And then the IEP plan is put into place. Once it is in place, every teacher gets a copy of that IEP plan and they are to follow it. It is going to be your job to be the advocate, to make sure extra testing time is being followed, to make sure recess is not a consequence, because they do need to run and be a kid and get out. They can't sit in recess because of something they may not have even been able to control. If your school gives you a hard time with the IEP plan, or they're not following it, or they're changing to fit what's convenient for them, there are advocates. We used an advocate in junior high school because it was just too frustrating. She came in, boom, 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 boom. Everything was put into place. And I will never forget, high school came in. And I thought, how's this going to go? When high school came in and we sat down for the transition meeting, I was promised by the social worker and one other person that was in this meeting that everything was going to be good. They would prove that their word means their word and it will be done. And they had stated something about a tour of the high school before high school officially starts, and that we could walk around for as long as needed. Schedule would be ready, walk around to the classrooms so the layout was known. And I was kind of concerned because up until this point, we struggled with anybody to keep their word. They did it, and that was the pivotal point for our son to realize people do have his back. Today, he advocates for himself. Now, I know we are very lucky. We are very blessed that he is verbal, that he does advocate for himself. But it's a hard road to get from infancy to adulthood where they can advocate for themselves. And that means when you start here, you just got to keep opening and opening and opening. And you have to let them sometimes learn the hard way or on their own, or that it's okay to trust other people to advocate with them, not for them. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions about autism or any resources that you are looking for and you're not finding, leave me a comment. I will do a video on that just for you. And remember, you are doing a good job. Autism, I've never seen two cases the same. And the tips that I'm sharing, tweak them. Make them fit what you need. Make them fit your child, your situation. I'm going to share overviews, and I want you to be able to have some tools to make your child's life easier as well as you too. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.